Hi, my name is Courtney. You can call me Courts. Today I want to share some of my favorite moments from working on set in 2024 and working in film and what it's really like, for me anyway. These experiences that I am sharing are very personal to me and just like fun little stories and things that have happened that motivate me to continue working and setting new goals. If you are new here, I'm a production assistant. If you're not new here, then you definitely already know that. This is just part of me documenting my journey from production assistant to director. Snap, snap, snaps all around, baby. My message for today is that your dreams are valid and we should chase them together. Before we get into it, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Let's get into my 2024 highlight reel, what it's like working on set. When you jump from project to project, like everything kind of blurs together and your memory sort of just starts to muddle everything. It can get very easy to be lost in... Was that my fridge? I'm pretty sure it's closed. It can be very easy to just get lost in the sauce. First, some context. As I mentioned, I'm a locations production assistant in Vancouver, BC, aka Hollywood North. Woo! Snap, snap, snap for Hollywood North. I'm non-union and I'm working my way towards being a union member. If you want to know a little bit more about that, I can make a whole other video. At this point in time, I'm currently doing some courses and working towards a union membership or a logbook holder, as they say. But there's some things that I just really don't want to spend money on, like traffic control. So I'm just kind of like, when I'm flush with cash, I'll get it done. But as of right now, we're working towards it, okay? I really only thought seriously about joining the union when I was offered a position as an on-set key PA, which is like a little bit more money, not a lot. It's kind of like a supervisor position for the other PAs on set. But I obviously couldn't take any sort of promotion because I'm not a union member, and if you're a union member, then they can permit you to work in certain positions. But because I am not, no promotion for me this time. So this is your sign to be ready. Like if you're gonna start in film as a PA, get all your stuff sorted so that you can join the union of your desire and be ready for those promotions, because they will come and suddenly someone will call you and be like, do you wanna do this? And you will wanna say yes. After the strikes ended, the first union project that I was invited into was called Tracker. I think it's a CTV show. Tracker, starring Justin Hartley. And I think this is his baby, like this is his project that he's produced. I actually had shot some scenes from the pilot episode just before the strikes had happened. And so we had the pilot episode basically completed and ready to air, but they didn't air it until the strikes were no longer happening, which makes sense. But then when the show was up and running again, they wanted to pump out episodes like they were shooting and then they were immediately being sent to edit so that they could have them on TV within like a few weeks. But because I had already shot some stuff for the pilot episode, it was really nice to be back with some familiar cast and crew that I'd already worked with. Some people on different shows, but a lot of familiar faces. It's always nice. But in March, when I was on Tracker, I had done just like a few days, and I was so lucky because that was the episode that Jensen Ackles was starring in with Justin Hartley, and I love Jensen Ackles. His iconic role as Dean Winchester in Supernatural, like I haven't seen him in so long. Like living in Vancouver, it literally is Hollywood North. Like back in the day when I was hostessing and serving in restaurants downtown Vancouver, I would see Jensen like a handful of times. And okay, what actually is that? I think it's the laundry machine. A part of me died because one of the reasons why I moved out to Vancouver was to star in Supernatural. Like I wanted a day player role. I wanted to die on Supernatural. So seeing Jensen, even just in restaurants and stuff, I was like, so to see him on Tracker and be on set together was like, it felt full circle for me. It's like I couldn't be on Supernatural, but you know what? I'm working my way towards that same place and still on set with Jensen Ackles. So it was a good day. That was one of the highlights of the year for me, and one of the things early in the year that happened that made me want to keep going, because I'm like, I want to be on set. I want to be working with people that I adore. I want that. On that set, we did some big stunts that day. We drove an ATV off a small hill into like a massive pile of cardboard boxes, which is what I've learned is normally how they perform these stunts. I think that was the thing that instilled in me this idea, along with all of the fantasy books that I've been reading. But I feel like I can do stunts now and I want to get into stunts. I love going to the gym as is. So after seeing the stunt like performed in real life, I was like, I kind of want to do that. And like, I'm small. I feel like I would be cast in mostly child stunts. So I think I think it would be manageable. I don't feel like it would be too threatening, like life-threatening for me. Also great to add to the acting resume whenever I do decide to get back into acting. It would be super sexy to have like some stunt training on a resume. Same with like having your gun license or your arms training or whatever. Like that stuff is handy. So then in early April, I got a call from a friend who was on set key for a new limited series called Earth Abides. And I literally didn't know anything about it. I was kind of nervous to take the job because I've never been full-time on a TV show before. So this was my first show run. It was amazing, one of the best experiences of my life. Our show is starring Alexander Ludwig and Jessica Francis Dukes. You would know her from Ozark. Alexander Ludwig you would know from The Hunger Games. He was in the first Hunger Games movie and he played Cato. It was so funny, I texted my brother a picture and he was like, oh my God, it's PETA. Very close, but no. The show is based on a book with the same title from the 50s, and it is a passion project for the producer, who has been wanting to make this project for decades. It is written by Todd, who has a Polish last name that I am going to butcher. Komaraniki. Todd Komaraniki. I'm trying to mention Todd is because he wrote the movie Sully with Tom Hanks. It's that one movie where the pilot leaves out of New York and has to try and land a full commercial jet on the Hudson River. And it's a crazy, really well-written movie, really well acted. And I was like, hello? That movie's incredible. I'm working with some incredible people. It was such a pleasure to work alongside people who are seasoned professionals. To shoot full-time, you get the opportunity to connect and network with people on a deeper level just because you're around them every day. And I got to connect with Alexander Ludwig throughout the shoot, and he was always so kind, so generous to the crew. He was always interested in what I was reading. I mean, not always, like one time, but at the time I was reading Fourth Wing, and you know, I'm in location, so I'm like posted up somewhere reading my book, and he's like, oh, what are you reading? Is that going to be a movie? Straight up. He is a working, thinking professional. And I was like, no, Alex, as far as I know, this isn't in works for being a movie yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fourth Wing girlies. I was like, have you heard of ACOTAR? And he was like, no, what is ACOTAR? And I was like, I mean, A Court of Thorns and Roses. There's a character in there that I think you could play really well. Tamlin. Like, I'm sorry, but watching him work every day, I'm like, he could pull it off. Don't look at him as Cato. Like, go and watch Vikings or something. A little bit more, you know, edgy, not so boyish. So I said that to him and he was like, okay. He like writes it in his phone. He's like, ACOTAR, okay, like Tamlin, okay, cool. Because they're literally like putting that stuff in pre-production right now. So he, if his agent is good at their job, has an audition for that character for him. Like they should. Just being a tall, in shape, blonde man. Like I feel like every tall, in shape, blonde man in Hollywood should have an audition for ACOTAR if their agent is any good. Okay, so I did give him my copy of ACOTAR because I want to leave an impression. So maybe if our paths cross again, he remembers me. And so I gave him my copy of ACOTAR, and in it I put a little note that said, to Alexander for when you book the part. And he didn't open it for like weeks, so I was kind of like showing up to work every day like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, like what have I just done? Like it's really cringe that I just did that. A few weeks later, he was like, oh my gosh, I finally started reading that book and I saw your note. That is so sweet, thank you so much. And I was like, of course, dude, like, I got you. He's the most professional, capable actor that I've ever gotten to work with. He just set such a good example for me for what a #1 can look like a #1 being the person who's top credited on the call sheet. Some of the strongest work ethic that I've ever seen, and from just being a new dad, balancing work with family time, to just being kind and generous to everyone on set. I will share with you the advice that he gave me as an actor auditioning. And mind you, he's been doing this since he was like a young lad, a teenager. He said to me, like, if you're going out to auditions, think of it like a first date. Like, you're not gonna show up to a first date and be like, oh my God, pick me, choose me, love me.
So pick me, choose me, love me.
You're just gonna show up and have a good time and hope that they're worth your time, you know? Sort of switch the tables and be like, I'm here, take it or leave it. You don't have to pick me. Like, I am perfectly secure if this date goes well or not. At the end of it all, I got to shop the set sale, which was my first set sale experience. Say that 10 times fast.
Set sale. Set sale.
We're gonna set sail. Okay. So at the set sale, I found some, oh my gosh, I have to show you. I found so many amazing home goods. I got this line for $5. Let me show you. I have no idea where to put it, I want to change the shade out because it's massive. Like, look at this shade. What the? But it's so beautiful. Watch me break this. No. $5. See, the sticker's still on it. $5. That's my set sail lamp. So if you've seen my apartment tour video, please let me know where you think I should put the lamp. It's just like a once in a lifetime experience to work with people that actually get along, because when you have crews of 100 or more people, heads are gonna bump. And that is what happened on my next project. Which brings me to the children's movie that I just worked on. I'm not gonna say too much about it because I think like I don't have a lot of positive things to say, except that I got to be on set with Kristen Wiig. For me was very exciting. I used to watch Saturday Night Live with my mom every weekend in her bed with a bowl of popcorn. Kristen Wiig, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey. I worshiped them. I worshiped them as a kid and I worship them now. I did look like a buffoon watching her act on set, and I'm standing like right in her eye line and I'm just like, and she's like so kind and gentle. She's like, get out of the way. And I was so embarrassed, but I was just like, just this week, I was working on one of my close friend's first short films. It's the first film that he wrote and directed and produced and has now filmed. It's just so exciting because when you work with your friends and it's their passion projects, everything is so much more fun and you get to be more creative and you get to try new things. For example, I was doing the slating for camera. It's a clapper, it's slate. So I got to learn a little bit of how to do that and watch my friend direct, which was so cool. That is pretty much what I've been up to on set in 2024 so far. This is our mid-year check-in. I do miss having spare time though. Like I miss that a lot. Like, I don't know, like you can probably see how tired I am all the time now. I miss making content most of all. I miss being able to balance work and life a bit more. That's my goal for 2025, to have my channel monetized and to be able to balance work-life balance a bit better. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Also, I will just quickly toss in that today, before I sat down to film this video, I got an email that I've been accepted / invited to the IATSE 669 camera trainee program. I just applied like to be on their wait list like 2 weeks ago on a whim. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get into camera. Like, let's see how it goes. Didn't think I would get a call for like years because everyone always tells me it's so hard to be once you're on the wait list. But I got an email today that was like, you're invited to the next training session. And I'm like, ah! A super helpful skill as a director to learn how to speak camera and to learn the lingo and to know what I want from shots. So I'm very, very excited because the best thing about working in film in 2024 is you can treat it like free film school, which is what I do. I go out every day to work and I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next, what I want to learn, what will challenge me. And I encourage you to do the same. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the sun go down on my face. I love you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye!